Kimmich, forget about that. He's 30, probably turning 31. You're not getting a 3-year deal and whatnot. I'd hear Morgan Rogers over Morgan Gibbs White. I'd love Morgan Rogers. He's been called up by England, but you got to grab these men before they end up where they're at now, or you got to be prepared to pay the going rate. I don't know what Aston Villa would ask for Morgan Rogers, because he's getting called up by England. He's getting better and better every game / every season. He's going to cost stupendous bread, man. Stupendous bread. If I share my screen with you lot, William Gallas names the Arsenal transfer that proves Mikel Arteta is not world class. Oh, wow. You don't know me. I don't like Gallas, but he claims Arteta's decision to sign Sterling is subsequent, and his subsequent use of him proves he's not a world-class manager. I mean, I don't think Arteta is a world-class manager anyways, because you haven't done world-class things. And I think Arteta, the board, they all have, like, we're scrambling on deadline day for a couple, man. So clearly last summer did not go to plan. But talk about 2 and 2 and getting $1 million. I can't lie, man. Ain't no one listening to Gallas. So just because Gallas said this, Arteta is world class. You don't know I don't like Gallas. Arteta is world class. Look how he changed the trajectory of the club. Just because Gallas said this, I ain't even reading this. I don't like you, Gallas. I really don't like you. Anyways, moving on. I'm not going to lie. I think this kind of stuff is gaslighting. 5 years ago, when he walked through this door, where was this club? Look at Man United. Look at Tottenham. Look at other clubs that have fallen by the wayside. He's done a stellar job. I understand that. Arteta has done very well getting us to this point. Yes, you could look at Spurs and United and say, look where they are. We have to urge caution. But we don't want to be like them. So why we what? So why we comment on them? And we have to move forward. You can't move forward looking back. I understand that, but this anytime there's genuine question marks about can Arteta get over the line, which ultimately is down to him. I don't think you have to always remind us of the initial period. There's times also within that where he could have, should have, and in other cases would have been sacked. This is why I said yesterday, good and bad. What Arteta's made mistakes, the board, the players, whatever. We've got to this point now where we're second. How are we getting over the line? And every year we do not get over the line, there's issues. And even in relation to Sterling, I think there's times off his own back, Arteta has fought for signings have fucked up. Looking at Sterling, there's no way I don't think Arteta wanted Sterling. I don't know who's fucked up between Arteta, Edu, the board. Maybe they both didn't want him and there's other external circumstances like Tim Lewis. Either way, that's what we ended up with. There's been too many chefs spoiling the pot. The only time I've really been happy with our last transfer window, I'd say the summer Declan Rice came in. I'm not going to sit here and waffle and act like, oh, Kai Havertz moving mad. But we got Timber, we got Raya, we got Rice. Maybe the year before that, to be fair, he did get Zinchenko and Jesus in early. It seems like the last two windows, last summer and obviously January, there's maybe been too much disagreement, too many chefs in the kitchen, or maybe just dropping the ball. So I agree with it. But this is A1 gaslighting, man. Like, allow it, bro. Big up Nico Williams. We've been waffling about him. I think he's got scope to improve these numbers. I hear it. The numbers are poor on the face of it. 29 goals and 28 assists in 158 games. This season, he's got 9 goals in all comps, 4 in the league, 4 in Europa, 1 in the Copa del Rey, 7 assists, 5 assists, 2 assists in Europa League. Let's see what he did the year before that. 11 assists. Well, 16 in all comps and 8 goals. The year before that, I'm sure the year before that was the year. There's a year where you done a madness. No, well, it wasn't now. So it kind of is Trossard and Havertz numbers, Trossard and Martinelli numbers. But I think at 22, I think he could got the gears, man. I actually believe in him, to be fair. Get it done, man. It's going to have to work, though. You're on big money, lad, and I'm throwing my reputation on the line for you. Come join us, man. Come join us. As I said, if anyone impressed me yesterday from Sociedad, it would have been the young Kubo, lad. Big up Myles Lewis-Skelly on his first England call-up, considering my man made his debut for Arsenal in September, and now in March he's been called up. One of the first names on the team sheet. We're talking about playing Real Madrid, and many of the strongest 11s will be him at left back. Fantastic, man. He deserves it, man. Can't talk him up enough. And they've been monitoring him, as Romano said last month. So it's no coincidence. You can see the England squad smash the like button on screen. Oh, wow. It's not the most eye-catching. You know what? Not going to advocate Spurs players, but surely Spence deserved the look-in. You got 4 keepers. And again, it's an experimental thing at this moment in time from Tuchel. But you've got Henderson, Pickford, Ramsdale, Trafford, Dan Burns. Shout out to him. You know, it could be a big week for him if he been called up by England, potentially with his boyhood club, Newcastle, wins the cup on Sunday. But you've got Byrne, Colwill, Gurhey, James, Konza, Lewis-Skelly, Livramento, Kwanzaa, Walker, Bellingham, Eze, Henderson, Jones, Cole Palmer, Declan Rice, and Morgan Rogers. To be fair, if you're Gibbs White, if you're Jed Spence, Nwaneri, I think you're being done dirty. Bowen, Foden, Gordon, Kane, Rashford, and Solanke have all been called up as well to the England fold. Thomas Tuchel has spoken. Sorry, people pause that because we don't want to get copyrights. Thomas Tuchel has spoken as well. Nico is in an upgrade over Martinelli. I disagree, I think his decision making is 10 times that of Martinelli's. But, we'll have to see. Ben White didn't refuse to call up. He loves to be back in the squad. I just think it's a bit too early now for him, given the seriousness of his injury. I'm glad he's back. We're monitoring his progress. Thanks to everyone at Arsenal. Shout out Tommy Tuchel, man. So, yeah, it's nice to see that Ben White is going to be back in the fold when the time's right. I don't know why Nwaneri never got a call up. Foden, you're quite lucky, if I'm honest. Seniority settings. Nwaneri did get called up into the England's under-21 fold, people. He's been called up alongside fellow Haylander Mari Hutchinson. So, yeah, big him up. Archie, great, to be fair. What, Jed Spence? Wait, to be fair, he's probably older than 21. To be fair, if you're Liam Delap and Nwaneri, I'm not saying he should have been called up, but if Thomas Tuchel wanted to run the ring over you and see you up close and personal, probably a bit harsh that you lot didn't get a look in, if I'm honest. But the game is the game. No one don't care what Gallas has to say. Again, where we look at Nico Williams, people, allegedly Arsenal are in contact with Nico Williams' entourage about a move in the summer, potentially ruling Bayern Munich's hopes of getting the 22-year-old La Liga star. That's according to journalists Christian Flock and Blind, who both covered the situation today, with the German journalists claiming Arsenal are making moves. Flock reports that Bayern are interested in Williams, and they're probably going to let Sane, Gnabry, I feel like Kingsley Coleman depart, so maybe they need to replenish their attacking options, who has a release clause in his contract worth 60 to 80 million euros. Their efforts to sign him could be scuppered, though, as Arsenal are also in the mix and in contact with the players' management about the move. Bling go a little further, explaining that while Williams is at the top of the wish list at Bayern, the club have put a stop to the purchase until they can make sales. They'd also like to sign Wirtz, you lot were speaking about him, who is likely to cost 100 million euros. Thus, any move for Williams will have to be put on the back burner until they can move players on, namely Sane, Coleman and Gnabry, who are all yet to impress but earn big wages. That could leave Arsenal with a free run at Williams should they wish to take it, and talks are on with his entourage, although that big release clause may cause a problem of its own. I mean, if we can come to an agreement with Bilbao that will give you a bit more if you spread out the cost, then Bob could be your uncle, but if they say it's release clause or nothing, Arsenal have a decision to make, people. What Berta is already doing ahead of joining Arsenal. Arsenal have found their new sporting director. What's this? We know he's got a big job. We know we're still linked with Isaac. Apparently, Ollie Watkins is still on our radar. Berta is getting ready for his role. And according to David Ornstein, speaking on the Handbrake podcast, Berta is already trying to improve his English ability. Okay, we've heard he's learning English, which is good. Big him up. I do think mainly us English speakers, we really don't appreciate us, and football is the best way of it. Like people learning multiple languages or having the ability to learn multiple languages or know multiple languages. I think they want to fill this position that's been vacant on a permanent basis, which has been occupied in the interim way by Jason Ito, who was assistant to Edu, who resigned in November, and he stepped up. He's been occupying the role, and now it's Berta that's come through the recruitment process, which included Jason Ito. And Berta is going to come with a wealth of experience from Atletico Madrid. He's also worked previously in Italy. He's 53 years old, Italian. He doesn't speak amazing English. Good thing football is universal. And I think Jason Ito speaks Spanish and Portuguese. Arteta speaks stuff. I'm sure, listen, money talks. You can get things done, bro, because I'm sure you've had to communicate with some level of English speaker when you've got some deals done in your previous life. He doesn't speak amazing English, but it's something he's been working on. He's been spending a lot of time in the UK and London specifically. Who knows? Your fellow Italian Calafiori could help you out, Netflix and drill music. So Arsenal will hope they will have got the right person to lead them forward. Okay. So he speaks Spanish, he speaks Italian, he speaks some level of English. Who knows, man? He might speak in the next one, but that's good. What has been said here in relation to our new interim manager, interim sporting director? He was with Atletico for 12 years. I think working with Simeone, so that will be helpful for Arteta. I think it's quite an inspired appointment, to be honest. I look at some of the deals he signed: Old Black, Griezmann, Jimenez, Alvarez, Savic. These are complex deals, but again, it's naive if you think that Berta is the one that went on his phone is like, I'm going to sign him. They had the scouting team clearly. And do you know what? When they signed Suarez, that's the one I liked. Because, yeah, they went for Griezmann when he was at Sociedad. Clearly a player evidently with quality. Somebody scouted the All Black and they went and got it done. Atletico was singing from the same hymn sheet. Alvarez has been a top signing, not because of his penalty in the Madrid derby, but yeah. I look at someone like Luis Suarez, who was seen as damaged goods, probably an exception to the rule generally in terms of their recruitment, but it worked for them. And you could extend that with David Villa. It's not the same, but if that same incident that happened in January happens again, could that be something we look to exploit or do a somewhat deal like that? It's an exception of the rule. I think he's got some good players over the line and he's rebuilt them into one of the top European sides. And that takes a good performance from the sporting director. 12 years is a long time for anyone to get a chance to come to the Premier League. May have been important. I think it'd be a great signing for Arsenal. With Arteta, you've got the start of a very powerful duo. As much as Eddie was respected, I think Berta will bring a different skill set and discipline. I'll be very encouraged by that if I was a Gooner. I hear that. But now we're going to see, man. I have faith in your ability to close deals, but are we going to sing from the same hymn sheet? Once again, Arsenal and Bayern Munich seem to be fighting for Nico Williams. He has a release clause in his contract. The amount should be between 60 to 80 million euros. So I don't know. Maybe it's a similar kind of Sesko thing. You look at some of the deals Berta's done. This article has said 5 of the best. As good as Julian Alvarez is it too early to say he's one of the best for Atletico? I don't know, but seems like 75 million euros well spent. So fair enough. Rodrigo de Paul, throwing that in there. They're saying Griezmann's been quality, on his return. Marcus Llorente's been decent. Luis Suarez, as I was saying, because he was considered past it when he left Barca, and it worked. So, yeah, man, we need to show we can pivot. Sometimes, as much as clearly our remit is young players with resale value, sometimes we might have to pivot and do something that isn't that. This says Manchester United could ruin Arsenal's Nico Williams transfer plan. Arsenal may be well placed to sign Nico Williams from Athletic Club, but Man United are in position to swoop for their Europa League rivals, while strong interest has also emerged from Bayern Munich. Up until now, Arsenal had appeared to be in pole position to sign the Spain international winger, who they tried unsuccessfully to capture last summer. At that point, Barca looked the player's likeliest destination. And with Yalmao's form and Rafinha's, I don't know if they go back for him, but you never know. All options on the table. And he's someone that's been linked with Arsenal, United, Bayern Munich, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Newcastle. The list goes on. We'll be here all day, people. Barcelona, if I haven't made that clear. But the explosion of form in Rafinha means he's no longer being considered as a priority by the Camp Nou side. Nico remains high on Mikel Arteta's shortlist, though. Arsenal want to increase both the depth and the quality of their wide attacking options, and the Basque would allow them to do both. Man United could become a credible destination. He's got 58 million release clause. Man United are allegedly likely to be able to afford him. But one stumbling block for the Red Devils is PSR. I have no doubt that they're probably looking at him, but that Quenda guy at Sporting that Amorim worked with was linked with them. Ornstein's come out and said that he's going Chelsea. Is it any coincidence these have resurfaced? I don't know. But yeah, Bayern Munich is bad news if they genuinely are involved. Arsenal, meanwhile, are willing to bid above Nico's release clause to secure a deal. This is not a particularly dramatic strategy, given that Nico's estimated transfer value sits at 71 million euros. We all know we're willing to bid above that, so we can spread it out across a longer period of time, clearly. So yeah, man, this seems like paper nonsense talk. What is this? Arsenal issue Real Madrid ticket warning over Champions League showdown. Arsenal put measures in place to ensure tickets for next month's blockbuster showdown with Real Madrid do not fall into the wrong hands. The club are determined tickets in the home part of the ground only end up in the hands of genuine Arsenal supporters and have therefore organised a ballot and purchase embargo. This means that fans who purchase an Arsenal membership after Monday, March the 3rd, 2025 will not be permitted to purchase tickets for this game. Anyone who enters a ballot for this match with a membership that is purchased above the embargo date, whether as an individual or as a group, will have their whole ballot application invalidated. We have made this decision following consultation with the relevant authorities. And I'm not going to lie, the ballot system somehow made it even worse, The ticket system was already flawed. Zinchenko spoken on his future. He's unsure over Arsenal future. Sometimes no decision is a decision. You never know. There has been times people have earned the contract, but when Arsenal have tried to be proactive, you'd imagine we're drawing up plans, What would the 2027 contract, Saka, Gabriel, Magalhaes, Saliba, contracts are running down now or in the next 12 months. I think a decision's been made on Partey. Maybe they change that. I think a decision been made on Trossard and Zinchenko. He's unsure what his future at Arsenal holds, but has vowed to play wherever he is needed during the final part of this season. Fair enough, man. I respect that. Zinchenko will have 1 year left on his contract in the summer and therefore has so far not discussed any new deals with the club. Apparently, Arteta revealed on Tuesday he will hold talks with the left back in the summer. He was a target for Dortmund during the summer transfer period. He has slipped down the pecking order, people, and PSV was just his fifth start of the season. I don't know yet, to be honest. If I would know, I would tell you. It's still a long way to go until the end of the season. I think we're at the stage and the most interesting period of the season where every single game is a final. You never know what is going to happen in football. Fair enough. Honestly, I'm happy to be part of this amazing club and team. It's really a joy to be close to these guys. Whenever the team and head coach need me, I am there. In any position they need me, I'm there to help. Even if I will be in the stands, I will try to make an impact as much as I can to push the others, just to hug someone, whatever. It's a joy, really. Fair enough, Zinni, man. That's a real mature attitude. Thomas Partey has been called up by Ghana. Make sure you return in one piece. That's all I will say. Semenyo's been called up. I'm sure a lot of you would love him at the carpet, people. Kudus, I'm sure a lot of you lot would love him. There's my man, the Leon guy, Ernest Norma. I'll describe him as a wild card. Like the look of him. Apparently, Arsenal are mulling over which way to expand the Emirates Stadium after being recently presented with a variety of options by architectural design firm in a major step forward. And apparently, we've been given offers to host events at the Emirates. Earlier this week, United have announced their new stadium at 60,704 seats. Big up you, look. Can we get to 70K, people? Technically, if we were a football stadium on this channel, around 5,000 of you, unfortunately, couldn't get into the dance. I'd have to tell you, look, doors close sharp at 9 p.m. No hats, no hoods. So, yeah, big up yourselves, people. Crazy. Arsenal currently have the fifth biggest stadium in the league. They were second when the Emirates was open. And, of course, we opened ours a lot more. We opened ours a lot after, I think only United's was bigger than us at the time. Since then, there's been expansions and whatnot. And I will say, thank the Lord, yeah, that all of these struggles, imagine if we were still at Highbury and we were now moving into a new stadium. We was ahead of our time in that regards. And we've seen several people build stadiums or try and, either build new stadiums around the world as well as in this country, try and expand. As you can see here, Newcastle, new stadium. I'm sure Liverpool are upgrading their thing. Everton have upgraded theirs. We've obviously seen Spurs move. United are moving, etc., etc., etc. West Ham technically got the Olympic Stadium, which was built after our thing. Yeah, it was. So, yeah, man. Spurs, West Ham, Liverpool have all since shot past them. Man City could soon be also past them. They are expanding their North Stand, which would push the Etihad to 60,000. The cost and project time length are major factors for the North London club when it comes to the available options, as well as how the chosen route would impact the surrounding area, people. Looks like a tent, innit? Like a circus tent. Yeah, that thing looks horrible. It's understood that Arsenal were approached about hosting Euro 2028 games, but declined. Why? We need the bread. The Emirates has instead chosen to free up the summer of 2028 calendar for events and concerts. Okay, we're still getting paid. This potentially presents an opportunity to get any stadium expansion completed by okay, whatever that means. Yeah, it took 3 years for Spurs' stadium to be built, allegedly. Okay. And again in July, just Kroenke confirmed such. Wonder where the money for that's going to happen. Now, I don't endorse or condemn the ITKs, but apparently Andrea Berta has been tasked to close the deal of Martin Zubimendi, which is yet to be finalized. Arsenal believe they have done all the groundwork to land the Sociedad midfielder. Sources say his parent club have lost all hope of retaining him beyond the summer, people. So, yeah, Zubimendi's been a hot topic of today. As Arteta given his press conference. On Saka, he's getting closer. He's stepping up and making very good progress. Let's see how he reacts when we throw him in the team. On Real Madrid, he said it's a fantastic draw. Very excited to play against them. And he said he's proud of Lewis-Skelly. And big up Nwaneri for his call up. I mean, we'll circle back and have another live stream around that anyways, folks. Again, do we really need both Gomares and Zubimendi? We have heard that allegedly we've got 300 million quid to spend. Andrea Berta wants to sign Gomares and Zubimendi. Gomares allegedly, if Newcastle fail to get Champions League football, he could be available on a much cheaper kind of range. You'd surely be hoping they're asking for 100 million if you're a Newcastle fan. They're saying 70. So we'll have to see. Keep your opinions coming. Don't forget to smash the like button. Keep flowing, people. Keep flowing. Big up yourselves as usual. Let's keep it moving, people. Let's keep it pushing. We've almost got 100 likes, man. We're flirting with it. So yeah, that's him. We keep going over the Bayern Munich stuff. Arsenal and Chelsea believe they can sign Diamande for 50 million euros in the summer. Incoming Arsenal sporting director Andrea Berta will make Matheus Cunha his priority target this summer. Berta signed the Brazilian when he was at Atletico. Wouldn't be against that at all. Sane rumours won't go away. Arsenal are interested in signing Leroy Sane when his contract at Bayern Munich ends. Again, 60 to 70 million is what Ben Jacobs is saying is the ballpark figure for Bruno Gomes to leave Newcastle. And apparently City are interested. I reckon he goes to City for what it's worth. If you're a Liverpool fan, then apparently you lot are involved in the race to sign Leroy Sane as well. Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United are among the clubs showing an interest in Nottingham Forest midfielder Morgan Gibbs-White. I'd have him. I rate you a lot higher than I ever did. Hugo Ekitike did very well against Ajax, man. In the Europa League shining stars, and I know they were playing nobodies with the greatest of respect. And I don't feel, in the day and age of system football, I think that's one thing that goes against Ryan Cherky. The man's a Bobby Dazzler. He's become the first player ever to register 8 assists in a single Europa League season. Bring him. And I think Man United have Lyon in the next round. So we'll be cheering on Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Lacazette and actually Cherky and hoping they can source them. To be fair, Josh Rosetsky was doing quite well, you know. Club accelerate contract talks amid Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man United transfer threat. What's this? Is it about Yalmao or is it about Rafinha? Barcelona reportedly set to accelerate talks over a new contract for star player Rafinha amid transfer interest from the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United. To be fair with you, has Rafinha got a shout to win the Ballon d'Or? Especially if they win the champs. I mean, Rafinha, I see the angle when we tried to get him at Leeds, but it's gone now, isn't it? So you can imagine Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle actually linked with him as well. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, we're just being thrown in the ring. Rafinha's come a long way, the 28-year-old, from how it started at Barca. So he's arguably top 2 most important players, really. We're being linked with Frankie de Jong, but we're apparently been dealt a blow by sporting director Andrea Berta. Has his sights set on 3 different signings. Oh, I'm not on this. Right. I didn't know that. De Jong's contract expires in 2026. Flog him to United, mate. According to Ben Jacobs, Arsenal's interest in Real Sociedad star Martin Zubimendi has not wavered. However, he adds that the Spaniard is an Edu target while he's keen on recruiting Newcastle's Guimaraes. I must admit, I reckon Gaspar probably wanted Guimaraes more than he wanted Zubimendi as well, but I don't know. Apparently, Jacob says the Gunners, who look set to miss out on a Premier League title once again, there's no need for them to put that in the statement, may try and recruit both midfielders along with Newcastle's Isaac and Sesko. I can't see us getting a double swoop I can't see us signing Isaac or Guimaraes, much less a double swoop. And so that would be Isaac, Guimaraes, Sesko, Nico Williams, and then the outgoings. Everything has to be a bit too perfect, doesn't it, people? Liverpool and Arsenal could be set to battle it out for another midfield wonder kid. Who's this? The Lyon guy. I bring him. If we've got money for Bodadi, can never pronounce his name, but he's cold, man. 17 years of age, has played 20 times in league. He's so cultured, man. One of them players that play at one pace. Arsenal allegedly are considering a move for Sporting's midfielder Morten Højlund. Wasn't he an boyhood Arsenal fan? And it says it there. He's got a tattoo of the club's crest. Quite an all-action midfielder, but 80 million, leave it. I don't know about that. We've gone over the stadium extension plans. But, Bruno Guimaraes transfer doesn't make sense for Arsenal. In terms of ability, it does, but come on, man. It's not making sense. Let's see exactly. Charles Watson said, I've seen all the Guimaraes talk, and it's not something I'm able to confirm at this stage. With Andrea Berta coming in, I'm sure we'll see lots of players linked with Arsenal, especially ones that he may have had interest in before. We know Arsenal have been working hard to position themselves at the front of the queue for Martin Zubimendi, and hopefully Berta's arrival will help the club get that one over the line in the summer. I'd be surprised if we see another midfielder of that sort of stature arrive as well. However, given the clear need to significantly strengthen in forward areas, I know Jorginho and Partey are expected to leave, but signing Zubimendi and Bruno in the same window feels like a bit of a stretch. Bruno is a quality player, but with Declan Rice already there, I'm not sure he's really needed. If Arsenal are going to add another midfielder as well as Zubimendi, I would much rather it be a more creative type, someone who can share the burden with Odegaard at times. That's a profile player. I don't think they have enough in the squad. They let Emil Smith-Rowe and Fabio Vieira leave last summer, and they were never really replaced. That was a mistake, in my opinion, and I'd like to see that rectified this summer. Don't think anyone can disagree there. Allegedly, Opta has said Arsenal are among the favourites in this Champions League clash. We've got 53% to Real Madrid's 47. Okay. Fair enough. What's this? World-class winger willing to take a pay cut to join Arsenal. Let's see that. Let's see what that's about. I wonder how long it's going to take Mikel Arteta with this press conference. Is it still going on? Well, we're going to have to circle back for that one anyways, people. But what's this? Not quite sure what that is. That seems like some think piece business. But yeah, Isaac has insisted once again he's not in no hurry to decide his future. Why would he? Why would you? You can make it doesn't make sense because you got a cup final, but you could stay at Newcastle and get Champions League. Whether it's Arsenal, Barcelona, PSG, this one, that one, you know that they have to put the money down. Too much is being said, man. I'd love Isaac. If I was Newcastle, I'd be trying to flog him to Paris Saint-Germain, to be fair. But he would cook at PSG, you know. Him, Dembele, Doué, be lit. Anyways, I'm not really thinking about the summer yet. That will be a talking point when the season is finished. No talks have been held yet. I have said many times that I don't really think much about my future. I've said many times I'm happy here. We are competing for titles, which is what you want as a footballer. Oh, you're happy to just compete? You could definitely say for Arsenal then. We have been to one final. Now we are in another. Fair enough. It must be nice being in the final at Wembley. What's this? Sane willing to take a pay cut to join Arsenal. If he's willing to take a pay cut, would you have him? If he's willing to take a pay cut, would you have him, folks? Some of you are being mean. 96 likes, you lot are boy in it. The report by Court Offside states that Arsenal are interested in signing Sane in the summer, with contract talks with Bayern having stalled, and the star could move on a free as he's set to be out of contract at the end of June. As a result, the report further understands that Sane could be willing to accept a pay cut of his 20 million per year salary, 17 million salary. 20 million euros, 17 million pounds salary at the Allianz Arena in order to force for a move to North London to join up with Arteta. We know Arteta knows him from his days at City. We know Martinelli struggled. We know we struggle as a team if Saka can't be chosen. So yeah, man, it is what it is, man. But that seems to be all the links, people. Again, we'll circle back on that. I don't want Sane at all. Wanted him last week on a free, but now it's best